All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another great money talk. As you can hear, my name is Keon Corniff. Some call me Mr. Finance. And today we're going to talk about the two other things in regards to our wealth formula, right? So, yesterday we had the pleasure of talking about money, right? And it's money plus time, plus or minus rate of return, minus inflation, minus tax, that equals wealth. So today we're going to talk about the importance of time. And we're going to talk about how time and rate of return are like very close cousins. They're very like, you can even say they're brothers and sisters, how close they are, because they play a vital role inside of wealth building, right? Time and rate of return plays a very vital role, and it's important that you understand the relationship that both of those things have when it comes on to the wealth formula. So one of the things I want to talk about time, right? Before I get into anything else, let's talk about the importance of time. Now, many of us were taught that money, right? Money, gold, diamonds, right? Jewelry, houses, all these things are valuable things, right? And we, we work many hours, and I like to say you sell your time to acquire the currency that you need to acquire what was told to you that are value. And when you did this, guess what happened? You look up and you realize that, man, 30 years done passed already. 40 years have done passed already. You don't looked up and realize that you wasted more time chasing commodities and didn't realize that the time, which is the thing that you call life, is gone. And by the time you look up, you say, okay, I'm in my 60s. I own my house. I own my cars. I have some currency saved up for retirement. And then you die. Right? Imagine that. Imagine that's the life that we are chasing right now. Right? That's the life that was given to you. That was the game plan that was sold to you. Right? It was sold to us. It was sold to me. Right? That's what was given. That was told. That's the goal, right? Even though we're talking about building wealth, but I want to bring that to your realization that this is what we're looking at, right? When you open up, when you look in the mirror, that's what this really all about, right? So it's just a matter of how much time you're willing to invest or give or sell or trade to acquire wealth, right? So many people spend a lifetime, unfortunately, many people spend a lifetime chasing down these things called wealth, chasing down the ability to acquire assets, to acquire a lifestyle, to acquire a certain status in time, right? So the thing about time is, guys, is that when it's all said and done, time, time is money, right? Time is money. And that doesn't just go for business. That doesn't just go for building wealth. That goes for everything. A time wasted is a time gone. You can never get it back. Right? A time wasted is a time gone. You never get it back. One of the most valuable things that I've learned that I really value the most is time. Right? I don't want to be rich to get money. If you want to be wealthy to get back time. Time for what? Time to spend it with your spouse. Time to spend it with your children. Time to spend it with your family, with your parents if they're still with us. Time. Time is one of the most important commodity that we traded off for $10 an hour, $20 an hour. I don't care if it's $100 an hour. you can never get it back. So time is money. But also procrastination is the enemy of your savings. Time. You see, when I learned that time is the true wealth, because when I talk to wealthy people, you see, if you talk to rich people, they tell you that making money is the goal and to become rich. But when I talk to wealthy people, I'm talking about people that have over $10 million or more, right? Because if you're still in the one digit millionaires, you're not wealthy. You're rich. You got some money, right? You could buy back some of your time. But I'm talking about people that's $10 million and above, right? When you talk to wealthy people, they tell you the reason why they get wealthy is so that they can have more time with their family. It's so that they can have more time with things that they love or the charity and cause that that's important to them. Time to help more people or something that give them more purpose. Getting a lot of money is not the purpose, to be honest, because the money is losing value every day anyway. So every wealthy person knows that. But it's really just to buy back time. That's what it really comes down to. It's to get back something that you can't get back any more of. When you die, you die. When your time is out, it's out. And then here's the messed up part about time. You don't know when that time is going to be up. You don't know when that time is up. You don't know when your children's time is up. You don't know if your children will go before you. You don't know. Time. Time is such an important thing, not only in finance, but in life. So I learned in life that my time is the most important commodity that I have. Not the wealth, not the assets, not the things that we acquire. No, it's the time. It's the time you invest, the time that you share. That's the wealth. So I just want to let you know, time is wealth. So I want you to say that. Time is wealth. All right? Time is wealth. Never forget it. Because you will spend many of your years and waste your time chasing wealth, chasing assets, and you will miss out on the greatest commodity that was always there, time. Like this morning, when you wake up this morning, did you say, hey, did you take some time to thank God for waking you up this morning? Hey, this morning when you wake up, did you take some time to be appreciative of the life that you have? Did you spend some time? Right? Time. Greatest asset in the world. It's the greatest asset because you can't you can't print it. You can't rewind it. You can't undo it. A matter of fact, the time yesterday is now called the past. And the time for tomorrow is called the future. And the time that we live in is called the present. So that's why you got to think about when building your finances, what are the things you're going to do in your current present time so that way you don't make the mistake of the past time. And what you're going to do today will make the future time better. But it's all about understanding time. So now when it comes down to understanding time, then you got to understand one more thing. Rate of return. Once again, if you understand time, you understand rate of return. So what is the importance of a rate of return? Well, rate of return works with time. Like I said, rate of return goes hand to hand with time. So now, depending on the interest that you're getting on your money, that will determine how many time or how many years it will take for that money to double for you or against you. Time. So that's why you got to learn something called the rule of 72, right? You got to learn the rule of 72, which is an important calculator. It's an important calculator. It's a simple math equation. If you're not good at math, I wasn't either, but guess what? It is so easy a caveman could do it. It's a simple formula. It says if you take 72, remember 72 is your number. Never forget it. If you take 72, you divide it by whatever interest you're getting on your money, that equal the amount of years it takes for your money to double. So now here's the bad news. That could work for you and it could work against you. Because the rule of 72 is a double-edged sword. It has no loyalty. It is just here to serve a purpose. That's it. So the rule of 72 could work for you and it could work against you. It's just a matter of you got to know, where are you when it comes to compound interest? Where are you when it comes down to compound interest? What kind of interest are you getting for your money? What kind of interest are you getting against your money? You got to pay attention to the interest. But more importantly, you got to know the difference between a compound interest and a simple interest. If you've been listening to me quite some time now, go back and listen to some of my videos. I already talked about the difference between compound interest and simple interest. But you got to realize that compound interest is what most of us is getting used against us. As a matter of fact, their money's compounding every month while ours is only getting compounded every annually. So more people are getting compound interest used against them than they're using compound interest for them. And then you don't even use the rule of 72 to calculate when would that double against you. So now you go back in debt. You see, guys, when you see it, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you see it, because that's when you really realize how much of a fool Wall Street took us for. You realize that how much of a fool they took us for, because they blatantly made something so simple come off as something complicated when it's clear as day. Let me run it back to you again. Time. Time is wealth. You're not working to become wealthy to get money. You're working to get time, because that's the reason why you want to retire. You didn't want to retire because you want to retire rich. You wanted to retire so you can enjoy the rest of your time on earth. So time is the goal. The ultimate goal for you to want to be wealthy is to get time. Time to go travel the world. Time to go relax. Time to spend time with your family. You wanted time. So the way you could get to time is by leveraging different interests on your money over a period of time. So if you started at 30 years old and you want to retire at 60, and you said, hey, Keon, I could save $10 a day. I could save $10 a day at the age of 30. That's $300 you're putting in over a 30-year period, which is 30 years. You are doing this for time, and you are getting a 8% interest. So over a 30-year period at an average return of 8%, you would have now acquired $447,000 to help with you at 60 years old to enjoy some time, right? You see, I hope you're seeing it now. I hope you're seeing this. You know, people always ask me, like, I was having a conversation with my son, and one of the things he said, Dad, when I get rich, I'm going to be so happy. He's like, I can't wait till we get rich. I said, we're already rich. I tell my son, we're already rich. We're already rich because we have time. We spend time. We get to see each other. I wake up today. I get to give you a pound. I get to give you a hug. That's time. Time is the greatest asset, guys. But you also got to realize that this same time that you're fighting to get, it's the same time you got to leverage in order to build wealth. So why the rule of 72 is important? Well, it tells you how much time it will take for your money to double for you, but it also tells you how much time someone else's money that you borrow will double against you. So if you take 72 divided by whatever interest that you're getting for your money or against your money, then it will tell you how many years it takes for your money to double. That's what the equal is. So we didn't learn this. And because we never learned this, people took advantage of our time. You see, your credit card company thought they were smart. Well, to be honest, they're pretty clever. They're pretty smart. They understood the importance of time, and they understand the importance of compound interest. It's just that we never saw it. So many of us will settle for a credit card at a 20% interest rate. Woo. Some of us, I've heard people say they have 36% as a credit card interest. Many of us are paying car notes with over 10%. Many of us acquire homes with a 7% interest, right? But we never, we you know, we never cared to ask over a period of time, what does that mean? How much in interest am I going to pay you? And then no one ever teach you how to pay down that debt faster so the interest doesn't grow against you based upon the time that they gave you. You think they gave you a monthly payment on your credit card when they say you could pay the minimum, or when they give you a mortgage, they tell you could pay this month? You think they tell you that because they like you, because they want to help you? No, it's because they want to make more money off of you over a period of time. You see, guys, everybody done figured out time is the greatest wealth except you. You know, one of the things that I've started to sit down with, when I sit down with my clients, I ask them that, right? My personal clients. I have good relationships with them because I want to really get in their head and find out, you know, what's important to you. Is it just to become wealthy? Or is it because you want control back of your time, right? So I highly advise you guys to really truly look into what I talked about today and understand the importance of time. You know, I posted a very important quote this morning, and the quote says, it's a proverb. It says, just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. You see, that quote is very powerful. And let me tell you why, because many of you guys can relate to this. Many of you may feel like the world is ending, the rug's getting pulled underneath your leg, like your eyes are opening up at the wrong time for you. So you feel like, man, it's too late for me. But every setback, it's a setup for a greater comeback. So when you thought the world was coming to an end as a caterpillar, you go into that cocoon and you thought you were dying in there. This world is like a cocoon. You feel like you're going to die in it. It's like suffocating you. But you understand the same pressure that is in the cocoon. It's almost like the same pressure that is applied to diamonds, to the rock, to turn it into a diamond. So many of you are going to turn into beautiful butterflies if you don't get suffocated by the cocoon, or you don't rip through the cocoon too early. That's what life is. Life is about understanding, acceptance, and ultimately respect. But you got to respect time. And you got to make sure that you put a very high value on your time. Time for your money, time for yourself, time for your wealth, time for your health, time for your spiritually. Time. You better master time. And don't let time master you. Wealth is time. Time is wealth. So once you apply time and understand compound interest, then you got to go and find out all these things now. Now you got to be Curious George. So I challenge you. Right, to do one thing. I want to challenge you guys. Can I challenge you guys to do something today? I want you to challenge you to do something today. And here's the challenge. I want you to make a list of every debt that you own. And I want you to make a list of all the debt that you own, your credit card, your mortgage. And don't look at me and try to tell me that your mortgage is not a debt. It's a debt. Let me be quite honest. If someone ever told you that your house is a debt, it's a debt. Until it's paid off, it's a debt. All right? Don't tell me it's an asset, it's an investment. It's a debt. I want you to make a list. All your debts that you have. I want you to go find out what is the interest on every one of those debts. And I want you to call each company, the lender, the bank, the credit card company, whoever you owe, and ask them, is the interest that you giving me on this debt, is it compound or is it simple interest? And if they say it's compounded, ask them how frequently is it compounded? Is it a monthly compounding? Is it an annual compounding? Is it quarterly? You got to know. Because if you don't know, you're already losing so much money and you don't even know it. And then you know what you do after that? After you get those answers? You need to go on a fast. Let me call it, it's a money fast. I'll call it fasting for money. You got to go on a money fast. It means that you got to stop buying things you want. You need to stop going out a little bit. You can skip a few parties that you get invited to. You don't have to be at every event that you get invited to. And then use the money that you would have spent and start tackling those debts. Start with the smallest one first. But if you put a deaf ear to these words I just gave you, don't be mad when it comes time to retire and you're retiring in debt. Don't be mad if you retire and you have to go back to work after you retire because you're running out of money. Don't be mad at time because I just gave you the game plan. Debt-free is the only way of life. Debt should never be a way of life. As a matter of fact, they said debt is the new slavery. It's just that it's not just for one generation anymore. It's for everybody. It's for the masses. So we're all in debt. So that means we're all in slavery. I thank God I don't have debt. My highest debt is $527. I'm 32 years old. I may not have millions, but I don't have debt. Yet. I don't have millions yet. So I challenge you to be debt-free and set a goal. But more importantly, I challenge you to use time and the rate of return in the next 5 to 10 years and build some real wealth. Build something really sturdy, right? Because tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you about inflation. Because if you don't start doing the first 3 things that we've been talking about so far, money, plus time, plus or minus rate of return, tomorrow you're going to find out why minus inflation could really destroy. Because remember, the first 3 is a positive thing. The rate of return is like a double-edged sword. It plays both sides of the field. It could help you if you understand how to get the plus, and it could hurt you if you're more on the negative side, right? So it's a double-edged sword. It plays right in the middle. It's like the equalizer. But minus inflation, minus tax, oh man, you got to learn how to turn those into plus. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. All right? So if you have any questions, you could type them in the chat room. Or if you have any feedback, you can type in the chat room. But one of the things I want to tell you is that, our workshops, if you want to come to our workshops, you're more than welcome to. Every Monday through Friday, we have our free workshops that we provide from 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we also have them at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You're more than welcome to come to our free workshops. Get in touch with the person that invites you so you get access to this. Because as you already know, 30 million financially educated families is the mission, it's the goal, it's the focus. Right? So once again, if you want to come to our 4 Steps of Financial Freedom classes, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays at 10 a.m. 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time, you're more than welcome to come, right? How about this one? If you'd like to learn more about our campaign, every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m., you could come and learn about our campaign, learn about our campaign, and really get to understand why we're doing this. You could learn and earn. Another thing you got to learn about is the fact that, hey, there's an expo extension coming up, October 18th to the 19th. Hey, get your tickets. Go to extensionexpo.com. Come and learn, right? Come and learn some more. Because I will be talking about some things I never talked about at this event. And if you want to learn it, trust and believe me, you don't want to miss that. So another thing that I want to tell you guys is that Money Talk is here to empower. And I hope you're empowered. I hope you learn. So always remember, you're one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember that the choice is always yours. And I hope you choose the right one. I hope you choose the right one.